This was supposed to be it, the next stage of my Z06. Cam, headers, intake tune, pretty much the whole package. I didn't want a race car, I wanted a reliable, street-built LS7 that could take miles and something that I never ever have to worry about. These cars have been modded hundreds of thousands of times. It's nothing new, they're basically down to a science. So I saved up, found a shop that I've used before, paid them to do what they do best, build something that would last. Now, I'm not a mechanic. My skills stop at the basics, oil changes, brakes, small projects. That's why I brought it to the professionals. I worked hard for that money, trusting they do it faster and better than I ever could. Or at least, that's what I thought. Let's catch you up. This is the first day, the moment I picked it up. My airbag light is on. Well, not off to the best start. Airbag light was on. Traction control system faulted. Service active handling system. My traction control system just broke again. Service charging system. My battery volts are dropping. 12.1, 11.9. What is happening? So if you're keeping track, that's one airbag light, the traction control system faulted out, and now my charging system is faulted out. None of which the car had when I dropped it off. And this is all just going home from picking it up. And on top of that, I picked the car up with no gas in it. Not relevant, but very telling for what's to come. So obviously I determined very quickly that one of two main things would affect the charging system, obviously the battery and the alternator. So I changed both as soon as I got home. So went out for a test drive after swapping the battery and the alternator, and that fixed the charging issue. I feel like these issues would come up if the car was street tested and street tuned like was claimed. But I still had the service traction issue, which I was told verbatim they see a lot, and that is nothing that they have anything to do with because they do not tune the BCM. It's a very specific time that the traction faults out. I don't typically drive with traction on, usually competition mode, but it still triggers on competition mode. It's anytime the wheel slips or I'm in high gear and I go more than 50% throttle, the service traction faults out. Now, I was reached out by many Corvette owners after I posted that first video telling me that that is definitely not normal, that they do not have the same issue, but I was not getting any headway with the shop and I didn't want to argue, so I just dealt with it. Now, the next issue is something that I thought I was being a pussy about, and that is in heavy traffic or coming out of a gas station, in and out of first gear, on clutch transitions, the car would stall. Dude, she's dead. What's happening? Now you can hear that little rev. That is not me. That is the car trying to catch itself from stalling. Now I chalk this up to just being a big cam, that I just had to deal with it, but again, many people reached out saying the tune was not dialed in. So this was something I did reach out. They booked an appointment. I was there for 7 minutes flat. They figured it out. They did a tweak with the idle air control. It just sucks that they didn't get it right the first time, and I had to drive 2 hours round trip to fix it. Alright, fast forward a week. We are on a rally with some friends for the day. This was a long drive. This was a perfect stress test for this car. Now, I didn't get the tune fixed before this day, so I'm still driving with the idle air control not calibrated correctly, but it was a long day. It was kind of annoying to drive in and out of traffic and out of parking lots and gas stations, but we made it work. We had a long day of different types of surfaces, inclement weather, all that, and it did okay up until the end. Okay, so now you're caught up. I had a check engine light on the way home. Very tough time hot starting. We let the car cool down for 15 minutes and she started right back up and we made it home. Pulled out the old code reader and it's a P0108, which is the map sensor, which is very interesting because I had a buddy scan the car at work and P0107 was stored on the computer, which is the opposite of P0108. Both of which is a high circuit and low circuit, which tells me that it's a bad map sensor. And oh shit, the things that I find from investigating the map sensor. It's barely bolted on, which makes a lot of sense for those two codes to come up. So, just to be safe, I ordered a new one. It was cheap, it was like 50 bucks. Better be safe than sorry. It's an easy swap, so that's what I did. It's definitely damaged. It looks like someone smushed it and smashed it in place. Now I can't prove this because I didn't have it out before, but it is definitely damaged. As you can see here compared to the new one, hopefully swapping this will fix my check engine light in the least. Also, while swapping the new map sensor in, I noticed that one of the bolts on the intake manifold is stripped. So there's that. And just taking another peek around, I notice this. A blatant slice, tool mark, pinch, something across the wiring harness. Now this I can prove because I took a picture of the engine before. So I'm going to band-aid fix it by wrapping each individual wire with electrical tape and wrapping that main harness with some Tessa tape. Only one of the wires has exposed copper, so I'm not too worried about it, but I just want to band-aid fix it. I'll relume it in the future, probably this winter, because there are a plethora of problems I think I'm going to have to fix. Also, check this out. My harmonic balancer is scratched and marred to shit. Seems like the more I look, the more I find. So I'm going to stop looking and take the car for a test drive. It's an extremely cold start because it's been a week. No air lights so far. We'll drive slow just to let it warm up, get up to temp, and then we will try to recreate some of the issues that I've been having, which isn't really that hard to recreate. And also, it's Halloween, so does that mean it's good luck or bad luck? I'm not sure. Alright, it's been like 10-15 minutes or something like that. It's a little cold out, so it's taken a while to get up to temp, but it's just about there. We're going to try to replicate what usually happens. The easiest way to trip up a CEL or my traction fault thing. Usually if I'm like in 5th or 6th gear just cruising and I go past like 30, 40, 45% throttle, like clockwork, the check engine light and the traction control faults out. So we're just gonna go in 6th. I don't know if you can see any of this, but I'm sure you can probably see the gauge. So I'm in 6th cruising. I'm just gonna go like 50% throttle and see if I can trigger it. I'm like 70% throttle. Okay, so it didn't do it, which is a good sign. Obviously the car is not that warm. But usually it didn't matter if I was in 5th or 6th past 40% throttle, it triggered. So let's do it in fifth. I'll go 60, 70% throttle. All right, that's a good sign. Usually the other way would be to downshift really hard. So we'll just downshift a couple times. Also nothing, that's another good sign. So far so good. I'm just gonna keep driving a bit, try to get that oil temp up a little bit more, at least to 160, 170, and then I'll check back in with you guys. Fifth gear, full throttle. It's a good sign. It's very cold out, so I can't get it past 160, but I mean, so far so good. All right. Test drive was successful. I didn't get a CEL, and I tried my hardest to fault out the traction control, and it did not fault out. So it seems like the majority of my problems was from that faulty, loose map sensor. It all makes sense now. Obviously, because the map sensor wasn't in there all the way, it was getting junk data, and when the wheels would slip, it would send that junk data to the BCM. BCM wouldn't know what to do, so it would just fault out the traction control. This is the first time since getting the car back I have not faulted out the traction control system. This was a success. Well, good news. No check engine lights. Active traction faulting out didn't even happen, and I didn't do it on camera, but I was intentionally breaking traction in every single level of traction. So completely on, broke traction, didn't fault out. Comp mode, same thing, broke traction, didn't fault out, and then obviously it wouldn't have faulted out with full off, which it didn't. So that is a good sign. All of my pain was from a negligible mistake by not bolting down that map sensor. And I don't know if you guys saw, but it was boogered up. The gasket was boogered up. I don't know if that was also bad. I changed it anyway, but we're back for now. It didn't get as hot as it does when I go out and do a day rally, but it got up to 165, and I tried really hard to fault out the car and it didn't do it. So we're good. Just for the record, it has been incredibly frustrating at times, filled with a little bit of anger, but I'm not angry anymore. For the record, I'm not calling out the shop. I haven't said their name a single time in this entire video. And please do not drop it in the comments. I will just delete it. That is not the purpose of this video. And also, they have responded. I did reach out to them, and they did take fault for a few things and offered to fix those things. But honestly, I don't feel comfortable bringing the car back to them, so I probably will not. Nobody will ever care about your car the way that you do, and that's okay, because now I know that if something feels off, I can find it, fix it, understand it. Reliability isn't luck. It's prep, patience, and pride, and you have to do your research and find a reputable shop. If you're paying someone else to build your car, just be mindful, document everything, photos before and after, inspect everything, ask questions, don't let them steer you the wrong way. For example, I was thwarted after the fact to wrapping the headers, which, if anybody knows, heat management is very important on these LS7s. A bunch of people reached out to me telling me it is absolutely imperative to wrap the headers, but I was discouraged from doing so. So I will also do that this winter. Hopefully nothing else comes up. The car seems fine. I will take it out on a few more test drives and keep you guys in the loop. But this winter, it seems like I'm going to be very busy fixing all of these mistakes.